Hello and welcome to today's October 12th second stimulus check update and second stimulus package update. Today I will cover the current state of the stimulus negotiation relief package negotiations. If you're a subscribed member of my community, then welcome back. And if you're not, consider subscribing right now. Okay, now Mark Meadows, who is the chief of staff for the White House, and Steven Mnuchin, who is the Treasury Secretary, have sent a letter to Congress asking for permission to use the unspent money from the CARES Act to help Americans right now. There is over $100 billion sitting idle that was originally set aside as PPP money to help small businesses. Well, everyone who could requested money, and now there's over $100 billion that is sitting, not being used. I've been trying to research, but in my research, the Republicans are actually saying that there's almost $400 billion that is sitting, not being used. I think some of that may have been money set aside for Main Street lending to the Federal Reserve that has not been used, but I wasn't able to track down the details. But I know for certain $100 billion is just sitting. So Meadows and Mnuchin are trying to get Congress to wake up and pay attention to this money that could be used right now. Meadows and Mnuchin said, this all or nothing approach by Nancy Pelosi, Speaker of the House, isn't helping Americans. It's not clear how this $100 billion would be spent, but the first step is to get Congress to wake up and approve its use for the American people. So, $100 billion is a lot of money that they could be using right now. Just to give an idea, it was just over $40 billion extracted from leftover FEMA money that was used under President Trump's executive orders to give several weeks of unemployment help after negotiations broke down. Remember when Republicans and Democrats promised in July that they would pass a bill that would extend unemployment, and then they didn't? So when President Trump signed that executive order, he doesn't have authority to sign new money into existence. So he took leftover money at FEMA in order to get that $40 billion sent out. So what I'm saying is that $100 billion, it could go, go a long way. Now, also, it was around $260 billion that was used for the stimulus checks that went out direct to the American people. So some of that $100 billion or $400 billion could be used right now to send checks out to those most in need. Right now, this letter is pretty fresh, so I don't have an answer on how Congress plans to respond or if they have responded. But as I know more, I will absolutely keep the community updated on this information. But it looks like Mnuchin and Meadows are trying desperately to get permission to use this money right away. This money could also be repurposed and go out to small businesses that already got PPP money, that are fighting to stay open or are trying to reopen. Now, the Trump administration has said that the PPP program from the CARES Act saved over 50 million jobs. And I've not heard Democrats dispute that number, so I believe that is real. The only problem with the PPP money is that there are billions and billions and billions of dollars that were given to businesses that remain closed because of strict lockdowns in New York or New Jersey or North Carolina or California. And I'm not trying to knock those states. I'm just saying if the business is closed, that money is just sitting in that business's bank account. So they can't rehire and start using that money. So I don't know that they should send that money. What I'm trying to get at is I don't know that they should repurpose between $100 billion and $400 billion to more PPP money simply because it could go out to businesses and then be locked away like the original PPP money. If money went direct to the people, I believe that money would be spent right away, right into the economy. Get people caught up on bills, get people caught up on rent. So anyway, I'll keep you updated as I know more about that. But that letter, for me, is a big deal, and I'm curious how Congress will react to it. Okay, now on the Republican side, Kayleigh McEnany of the White House said, "We believe Senate Republicans are not what's blocking this. It is Democrats. I believe Senate Republicans will ultimately come along with what the president wants." On the Democrat side, Nancy Pelosi is saying $2.2 trillion or nothing, and that Republicans are not taking this situation serious. So those are where the two sides are at, right? It's just the blame game going on. We're in the 100th week of blame game. Okay, now over the weekend, Pelosi said that the $1.8 trillion proposal is insufficient and called it a one step forward, two steps back proposal. It basically did nothing. I'm not going to give an opinion on that, but I did notice something today that I missed last week, and I want to apologize to the community because inside of the $1.8 trillion package, one area of contention is that Mnuchin offers less money to state and local governments, and Pelosi is wanting that higher amount of money. However, as I reviewed Mnuchin's $1.8 trillion package today, I noticed that it offers $1,200 checks to adults and $1,000 checks for dependent children, right? Instead of the $500. That's a big deal, right? That's a huge difference. That they took that money that would go to state and local government, and they're giving more money to dependent children. So I missed that. And so anyway, to me, that's a big deal. So the $1.8 trillion package actually offers more money in terms of money direct to the people versus to the states. So just another big difference between the two presented proposals. Anyway, I missed that detail, but wanted to share that with you today. Man, it would be really awesome if they would just get one of these bills passed and get money going out. There are just so many families that are in need, and it seems like a bigger paycheck direct to the people would actually help the country more. Now, listen, I don't care if you're in my community and you're a Democrat, and I don't care if you're in my community and you're a Republican. Both sides are welcome. I just want your feedback as an American. If you were passing this stimulus bill right now, would you want the $2.2 trillion deal that gives more money to the states, or the $1.8 trillion deal that gives more money direct to the people? I know it's kind of a silly question, but I'm just trying to get a feel. Like, it seems crazy that we're now almost in the middle of October and this deal is still not passed. So anyway, let me know what you think in the comments. As I know more, I will share more, but this is my stimulus news update for the day. Regarding political stuff going on, President Trump refuses to do a virtual presidential debate this week, and presidential nominee Joe Biden refuses to push back a couple of days to have an in-person debate. So it looks like it's just not going to happen. It looks as if both groups, both sides, are just going to spend more time campaigning in battleground states. Judge Amy Barrett is having her Senate hearing today. That will last for 4 days. Florida has announced that they are officially reopening statewide and will watch for hotspots, while New Jersey is ordering their people to do 30 more days of lockdown. Every part of the country is just seeing different things going on. Anyway, I wish to remind you that you are amazing. Make sure to check out my latest video right here, where I talk about the book that influenced my life the most during my hardest financial times and how it influenced my money and starting a business. I appreciate you being in my community, and I'll see you on the next video.